We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Storm Duck, Miami Dolphins corner, UDFA, and I'm gonna, go over this video, show why I think he was the best UDFA of the entire group, like not even just the corners, everyone on the roster. We'll go over plays from all three preseason games where he looked lights out. Really probably only had like 2 negative plays at corner playing man-to-man, which is like ridiculous throughout 3 games. Very, very consistent. I think he did a great job with his instincts, anticipation, athleticism. I think he played with good leverage. Pretty good, like his maintenance, understanding of where he needs to be. I think he has pretty good technique as well. And when he, kind of got himself slightly out of position, he did a good job recovering, just making plays. Good job at the catch point as well. Definitely a guy that you see and you're like, oh, I want to develop this one. Just really well-rounded corner play from Duck. Excited to see, they really wanted to keep him on the roster. Didn't want to risk him to going to the waivers. Clearly, they're big fans. I think the Dolphins have a really good history of doing good work with undrafted free agent, especially at corner. And I think Duck will be the next one in the line. This was like his 1 touchdown he gave up. But we'll break that down out later why, I don't think it's that big of a deal because he's put in a really tough spot there. But going back, we'll do some of the games from the Buccaneers game, which this was the 3rd one. He didn't get to play as much in this game. I think they were trying to keep him hidden just in case they were going to waive him, just to see if they could get him back to the squad, practice squad. But they didn't want to risk it. Here he does a good job just getting on 81 right here, man-to-man, staying square over the top, getting hands on him without getting overly physical to get a penalty. Does it within 5 yards, and then once he starts to break, you're anticipating the guys, even getting hands to your face, pushing off on you, and Duck is still not allowing much separation, just being in the correct spot, leverage-wise, and he just always plays top-down. He always is doing such a good job in these situations, being over the top of them, being squared, and you can see the footwork overall, very, very nice. Here's another example. Guy falls to the ground, but he does a good job. He's willing to get hands on. He's like that. Size, athleticism is all just pretty solid. It's not like he has elite traits at athleticism or size, but it's all good enough. Actually, probably better size. Sometimes when you're too big, you struggle to change directions and things like that. Here he actually opens up his hips a little too early. I think he gets a little too far over the top, and the guy tries to work back to the inside after he gets hands on to disrupt him. But look how he just instantly flips and gets back into position. He's very comfortable, willing to get physical, maybe get himself slightly out of position because he feels like he can recover and get back into a good spot. Gets back into a good spot. The guy ends up falling down, but lots of good reps from that overall in the preseason. But most of them came in the first 2 games, which we've taken a look at some of these plays. There on the outside, them attacking vertical. This was when he first came in that first preseason week 1 game, and they went right after him. They kept him isolated to the side. I love seeing him get isolated man-to-man. Them going vertical straight at him. He's opened up his hips. He does a good job, I think of feeling, the body language, the pace, matching pace, mirror match. Guy works out, and then now that he's in a spot right here, he's kind of even with him. He's in a spot where he could kind of turn his head either way, whether into the receiver or away. Here he turns away to the receiver and then still plays to the hands. Good timing. Love that he's still looking to locate the ball. That's, I think, the biggest thing. Here's another example. Literally the next play, them going after him again. On the outside, this one, he tries to turn and locate the ball, but he didn't allow any separation. He's staying in the hip pocket. You can see him just going step for step. If you watch his feet, he's going step for step with this guy, matching pace. I feel when he's even like this, he probably should turn back into the receiver. When he is over the top, he does turn back in, so he does understand how to play the ball both ways, whether it's back shoulder or not. Understand how to play the ball both ways, whether it's back shoulder or not. Turn into the receiver, turn away, right there. Here's an example of it. But I do think on that vertical, you put it a little bit better. But overall, I'm glad that he's looking to find the ball. This was actually after one of the other negative plays. I broke it down in another video where he missed a tackle, but they went straight after him trying to throw the fade. Look at him stay patient. He stays square, pretty good base, knee bend, overall body positioning. He's keeping his outside leverage. Maybe gets slightly off balance right there, but he's able to just get back right into the correct spot, open up his hips, reading the receiver, gets hands on now, ready for the back shoulder, turns into the receiver as you can see, boom, turn back to find the ball. Ball's thrown super far back shoulder, but Duck didn't allow any separation. Just very, very good reps. Here he is versus Washington. They went after him early. They kept trying to go after him. He's got some pretty good long arms too for his size, which is nice. Go up, make plays at the catch point. And all of these reps are just him, and I already know he can play some zone too, but most of his best reps came in man-to-man. But I feel pretty good because he played zone a lot in college and looked pretty comfortable there, pretty good instinct. So it's nice to see him just come out, play press man-to-man, which is one of the hardest things to do in all football, and just consistently, whether it's getting hands-on or just staying square, staying patient, open up. They're hand fighting right there. Stay in the hip pocket. Guy breaks across the middle. Don't allow any separation. Go up. Play it. Perfect timing at the catch point. Duck. Just looked so comfortable. Like play after play. It was really, really encouraging to watch. Definitely was my favorite UDFA to watch, I think, on a weekly basis. I liked a lot of the other guys. I'm glad we got to keep like Isaiah Johnson in the practice squad. I think he shows a lot of promise too at the corner position. Wish we could have kept like a Jason Maitre. But Duck went out there and just obviously great name too, but just went out there and just continuously made plays. I love, like, productivity is always awesome to see. Here he is at the bottom of the screen. Love the anticipation. This is a different type of play. A lot of the other times he was getting attacked vertically. Now I want to see him versus some different routes, similar stuff. He's playing in a soft press, so he's not quite getting hands on. Guy breaks the inside, and this is now he's got, like, you know, hands on here, but he kind of like slingshots himself forward to like undercut the dig right there, or, you know, like a kind of tough to tell what the receiver's running, whether it's more of like a bang 8 or a dig because he runs a lazy route. But look at him just undercut this, anticipate, like he knows he has help over the top too. Like there's two safeties like playing deep here. He has help from here, so he knows if this ball was to be thrown, he has the idea that he can undercut this, and he still has help over the top if he does not make the play. So understanding situations, anticipation, leverage, your positioning is all so important, and he's ready to take this. Like, doesn't obviously get targeted, but you can see just like the traits, the potential, the way that he understands to play the game is very, very impressive. And they just kept trying him on a vertical plane, and he was not giving up really any separation. Maybe some of these could have been completed, but he opens up, good timing, gets hands on, opens up his hips. Now he's just running step for step. Look at him like matches, because the guy gives him like a little hesitation there, and he matches him step for step. This time he sees like they're getting physical, but they're kind of hand fighting there. Plays through the hands. He, you know, he's kind of, you know, playing in that downfield shoulder positioning. Doesn't have the upfield shoulder stuff. So he probably should have turned to locate the ball, but he decided he didn't want to and just play through the hands, which is another way. And he's able to swipe it down. Being able to win at the catch point in multiple different ways is huge, because you're not going to always be able to turn and locate, swipe down. Didn't get called for any penalties, even though there's maybe some of these that could have been called, but I think the receivers were being just as physical. This one's not a penalty, but just another good job staying step for step. He initially stays square, stays patient, waits for the wide receiver to commit, because the receiver does his little split release. Once the receiver, boom, steps on that, gets your outside release, you open up. You're in a spot where he's not going to be able to, like, he would have to make multiple cuts to try to get back inside of you. So you're just staying step for step with him. Turn to locate the ball. You're in that type of positioning where you can do that. They're going to try to throw this over the top into the back shoulder just based on your positioning. Ball gets thrown a little overthrown, but he was there to make a play, just continuously understanding his leverage, his maintenance, and how to, you know, play the ball, turn, locate it in different situations. This is another example of it. This one's where he plays upfield shoulder. He has complete high leverage on this one. So when he's right here, boom, turn and look for the back shoulder. The receiver doesn't locate it, but like he understands how to play this perfectly. He understood exactly where he's getting attacked. It feels like he's anticipating this the whole way. Sees the receiver release outside, boom, get over the top, get your body there, boom. Now turn and locate. Square. Ball thrown a little too far behind, but just continuously understanding exactly what to do if you are Storm Duck. Now, last play we're going to look at, this was the touchdown he gave up in preseason week 3. This is a very tough ask, because, like, okay, look at, you're going to want to look at Duck, look at his leverage here, look at the positioning of these receivers, and also look at Bonner in the middle of the field, free safety. We'll start with Duck. He has outside leverage on this receiver. Now, when you have outside leverage, they already have a tight alignment like this. It's very, very difficult to play man-to-man for this long on 2 deep crossers, because it ended up being the crossers. And Duck isn't even in that bad of a spot. It's just like he tries to play. He's just a step out of position, which he should be, because that's where his leverage led him to, because he thinks he has inside help. But since they run double crossers and Bonner's playing off right here, because Bonner gives up about the same amount of separation even in off-man coverage, but he has safety help. The safety breaks on his. If the safety breaks on this one, then they probably target Bonner, and then Bonner probably gives up the touchdown if it's a good throw, even though he's not in a bad spot either. They're both in very similar positions. It's just one went over the top and had safety help. So he got the safety help, and then Duck doesn't get, you know, the best spot. They basically ran the perfect concept to beat him, just based on his positioning and where the safety ended up going. Duck was put in a very impossible position to make this play. Most corners in the NFL aren't making this play, so I'm not, putting too much stock into it. And when you're playing man-to-man at corner, you're going to lose. It's the toughest thing, I think, to do in the NFL. That's why, I feel like people overreact to too many negative plays. Sometimes it'll be just, one negative play and people overreact for a corner. I'm like, dude, every corner in the NFL has a negative play throughout a game, especially if they're playing so much man-to-man, which the Dolphins were doing a ton of throughout the season. I think Duck showed overall good instincts and anticipation. He really did well in the vertical plane. Whether he was playing just straight go balls, fades, back shoulders, he played a good job versus curls and stuff too. I think when they started giving him more other type of route concepts to play, he did a good job anticipating things that were breaking over the middle. I actually think he looked very comfortable in those situations. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave that comment, subscribe. The season is almost here, guys. Thank God. And then we'll have full breakdowns to do throughout the season. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.